Welcome to the channel. Today from my collections another camera. This is Kodak Medalist with a 6 centimeter x 9 centimeter sized roll film. To be specific, it's Kodak Medalist 2. It was the first version of Kodak Medalist was built in early 1940s, and this basically during World War II, and this one was, if I remember correctly, from 1947. Let's take a look at it. This leather is not, it's well made, it's stitched, but it's really simple brown, nothing as fancy as some of the older leather cases I've shown you. This comes from the time when, I guess resources was scarce right after the war, and yeah, I think things started to get more plastic and simple after this. So here's some stitches, very simple. No markings of any sort anywhere. Let's take this whole thing. Can I get it off? Okay. Need to remove this one. It's attached to the tripod. Hold the camera to the side. Let's look at the case a bit. There's some indentations here, some nothing special. I'm always looking if there's any writings. People used to write their names sometimes on these cases. There could have been something here in the back, but it's been so scratched. There's something in the bottom. It says made in, I don't know if you can see it, it's really vaguely made in USA by Eastman Kodak Company, Rochester. So this is a Kodak camera. Kodak Medalist 2. Simple. Don't know if there's metal or it's just cardboard. Most likely just cardboard inside. Some stitching is starting to give up a bit. Clearly used. Okay, nothing so special, just a case, big one. Now comes the camera. Here it is. Kodak Medalist 2 in all its glory. While I said it's roll film and it takes 6 centimeter times 9 centimeter sized images, this does not take the 120 roll film which is available today, but rather 620. Why this is such a great camera? Well, it's the lens. And I mean, it's extremely robustly well made. It's relatively compact for its size, has all possible features, good user interface, everything. I mean, people love this camera so much that the Kodak won. It was a very popular camera at the US military during World War II. And even today, there are companies in the US, for example, I think one or two at least are places I know or knew, that convert this to 120 roll film and make this, restore and maintain this, just because these are so excellent cameras. The resolution, the image quality is supposed to be incredible. I've owned this camera for many years. Always considered sending it. When did I buy this? Sometime after 2000, so I've had it a very long time. Haven't really used it. And I've considered sending it to US for a long time. One of the people already retired who was supposed to be able to restore this, the new ones. Hopefully I will get to it one day. It's not going to be a cheap endeavor. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So starting from the back, here's the typical red thing. You can see through to the film, you can see which frame of the film is currently going. It's behind this small latch. There's a text says, made in United States of America by Eastman Kodak Company, Rochester, New York. So this is a good example, if you look from the top, what crazy, incredibly beautiful quality and workmanship can be done in US if just wanted to do so. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. I know they made good and bad stuff in the US depending on decades and so on, but this is just an example of wow. If you put Americans to the job, they're doing the same or better than Germans did back in those days. This is just a stunning, beautiful camera. So here they have two viewfinders on top of each other, one for viewfinding, nothing else, plain, and one for the rangefinder. And here you can see the setting. It's rather actually just a reminder for the user of what type of film you have. There it says 620. Here's the release button for the shutter. Here's a distance scale, focusing scale. So if you rotate the scale here, you need to, well, this is quite stiff, needs some lubrication. And when you reach a certain point, this scale here, there was a similar scale to this, very similar looking in pre-World War II German Voigtlander Bessa cameras, the 6x9 folders. Similar kind of like Art Deco style design. But this one is slightly behind some sort of, is it glass or plastic? And as you rotate the focus, you can see also the focus numbers moving there, the distance numbers in the scale. And with this, you can see the area of accurate focus with different aperture values, which you can then set over here for the lens. Let's focus this back. It's a bit stiff, needs lubrication. Here you can set the shutter speed, 25 all the way to 1/4 hundredths of a second to 1 second, and B setting. And with this, there's a ring here with which you can set the aperture values, 4, 5.6, 8, and so on. That one is not so ergonomic. It's funny that the whole camera was designed and made by Kodak. The lens and mechanism was made by Kodak, but it still seems like some part of the lens was just, and the shutter was just standard, and that's how we do it. No customization even for their own products. And then there's, I believe these are settings for the flash here. Here's a flash connector, synchronization connector. Places for the straps to attach. All solid metal, beautifully machined. It says flash supermatic shutter. It's a Kodak Ektar 100mm lens with a maximum aperture of 3.5. This is quite heavy camera, but it's beautifully shaped. One nice detail, if I can, these straps don't want to go away, is here on this side. I don't know if you can see, but they are not straight, they are angled to take, so you can have a grip from here with your fingers. It's perfectly shaped. Here's the rangefinder windows and the viewfinder, which all come down to those two small ones in the back. Now remember, this viewfinder, it also has parallax corrected viewfinder windows. Mean that everything is, there's no mirrors or beam splitters, so everything is done with prisms, also maybe according to the heavy weight. Something problem with old cameras is that when you have mirrors, the silver layer starts to deteriorate and separate from the glass. And this one, due to the fact that it doesn't have, like many of the most expensive cameras at the time, they don't use mirrors at all. They use only prisms, so no problems with mirrors. And another good thing about the prisms is that the image of this one, even today, is extremely clear, the viewfinder. Here you can see the exposure counter and the counter knob for setting the exposure counter. From this is the winding knob where you wind the film and set the shutter. I'm not going to wind it now because I don't remember if I have film in it. I don't remember what the settings are there. I think there was some problem that some of the oils got stiffened, so I don't want to do anything to risk damaging this. I would rather have this just like this, and when I have the chance and money and the time, to have this perfectly restored. Or rather I don't think it needs restoration. It's perfect, like new. It just needs cleaning and real application. Altogether, there's quite a lot of fancy features in this camera built in. It's kind of mechanical intelligence of different situations, how to make the winding of the film more reliable. Here's a system that enables you to remove the back hatch so you can replace it. I understand there was like for basically for plate or rather sheet film holders was possible to attach to this. Yeah, bottom has two places for tripod attachment. The leather, this is not real leather. Actually, I don't know. It could be real leather, difficult to tell. It's just in perfect condition. There's no tears, there's no rips, there's nothing. There's nothing absolutely wrong with this camera, other than that it needs to be cleaned and preferably converted to 120 film. Just to show you the scale of this camera, this is my iPhone in front of it, and this is the camera on top of it. So it's a relatively compact camera considering this large size image it creates. I read some reviews a long time ago online of this camera, and some of them, when it came to positives like lens, compact, good features, ergonomy is wonderful. There was negatives and there was nothing there, and I have to agree. One negative might be the fact that it was made for 620 film, which you can still get in the US. That's fun enough. When I lived there, I still have some rolls of 620 film. I know I say my cameras are beautiful, well made, but this one rivals the best of what the Germans ever did. Yeah, I will put some links into the description about more of this, and there you can see some pictures taken this. Just look at the pictures online behind the links. You can see more about this absolutely gem of a camera. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.